We've left California and now here we are in Nevada at Lake Mead National Recreation Area, just off of Lake Mead behind us. It's very beautiful here, and we are camped on a place called Government Wash. There are lots of camping sites here and it's beautiful. It is a boondocking location and it's free for us because we have a National Parks annual pass. Otherwise it's $20 for 7 days for that weekly pass instead. And we love it here. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this is why we boondock. You're just surrounded by nature and you're right off the lake here. There's wildlife all over the place. We've seen multiple coyote and they're beautiful and their calls are awesome. You hear them yipping and howling and it's just really neat. Before we hit the road, this was essentially what we envisioned, what we wanted to do. We wanted to just drive out to some free spot in the middle of nature and basically live here. What you see behind us, this is basically our front yard. Yeah. And this is right what our front door looks at out at Lake Mead, and it's just incredibly beautiful. It's not very private here. Lake Mead is it's a really popular area, especially for fishing and boating. So there's a lot of people here, but that's fine. That's fine with us. It's a lot less crowded than an RV park would be.
Yeah, definitely.
And coincidentally, we had some friends that were staying in Las Vegas, which is just 20 miles from here, and they've never boondocked before. They've been on the road for about 5 months now, and they live full-time in their RV also. And they've been wanting to get into boondocking, but for whatever reason haven't. Maybe they've had some reservations about staying out in the middle of nowhere alone. But since they were so close, we were like, hey, come on out, stay with us and get a taste of boondocking because we love it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, we figure they would love it too. They've only stayed in RV parks though, so they're used to full hookups and
or at least most hookups.
Yeah, and all the luxuries that go along with that, which I can't blame them. Full hookups is nice.
It is very nice.
So they've come out here and they've been here for a few days now. Later, we're going to talk to them and see how they like it. If they enjoy boondocking or if they just want to get out of here and get back into an RV park, hook back up and get more of that glorious full hookups.
We'll see, but we'll let them tell you instead of us telling you how they feel. But before we talk to our friends about how they're liking boondocking and how they feel about it, we are going to go on our first adventure here at Lake Mead. And the exciting part about this one is that Sweetie gets to come with us. Most of the hikes here at Lake Mead allow dogs, and for us that is so awesome. We have been dying to take Sweetie on a hike, and I know she's gonna be so excited. We bought her a little hiking pack that she can hold some water and a food dish in, and we're just so excited to take her on this hike. It is an easy rated hike, so let's get going. So far, at first glance, this trail is going to be utterly spectacular. It is so pretty. I can't even describe it. And the colors of these rocks, this rock behind me, it is so red. When the hike is called Redstone, I mean, I had an idea of what color the rocks would be, but this is so bright. We could see it from a mile away coming up onto it. This place is beautiful. And the view here is gorgeous. You can see volcanic rock, limestone, and sandstone. It's so beautiful here. Now, Redstone Trail is rated as an easy trail, and it's only a half-mile long. There is an extended part that I believe adds a mile, but we haven't been able to see any signs or exact location of that. So if we can't find it, then we're not going to do it. But if we can, we'll make the decision at the time.
So this pack that we've got on Sweetie is carrying our water. And on the other side, she's got some food for her. We've got a collapsible food bowl for her. It pops out. I know. What is that, pup? And we've also got water for her. So we can put water in here, we can put her food in here so she can get a drink mid-trail so that she's not thirsty either and cool off. And we've read about these working dog breeds, like Rottweilers and Huskies, etc., that they like to have jobs, that are tailored to what they were bred to do. And Rottweilers back in the day were herding dogs, they were guard dogs, they guarded the herd, and they were also essentially trucks in dog form. They would pull carts and they would haul stuff on their backs. So we got her a pack so that she's got a job, and we've read that they like doing it. They kind of feel like they have a purpose. So whether or not that's true, I don't know, but she's such a good girl that she's just happy to be out here on the trail and exploring with us, right, pup? Yeah. All right, let's go.
This has been an excellent little hike. We have thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. We know Sweetie's enjoyed herself. She has just absolutely loved wandering around through all the bushes and on all the rocks and through all the sand. She's had an absolute blast. We're so glad we were able to take her on this trail. Now, one thing, after all we've learned about some of the deserts we've been to, is all this green you see behind me is creosote. We know that. But the plant that looks blue, in contrasted with the red rocks, we have no idea what it is, but it's everywhere. And up close, it doesn't look blue, but from far away, it all looks blue. And it's such an odd view, but it's really, really pretty. Because the blue plants and the red rock and the green rock all contrast so well, it all pops individually. So the red rock pops against the blue looking plants, and the blue plants pop against the green plants, and it's just utterly beautiful. It's so spectacular. But this has been a great short little hike. It is only a half mile. We weren't able to find the extra trail, and there were a lot of little offshoot trails, so we kind of got a little lost coming back. And it's just, the trails aren't very easy to follow, but it has been a very nice hike, very short, very beautiful. But we're gonna go ahead and let Sweetie eat her lunch because it's a half hour drive back to the RV. So we're gonna let her eat her lunch now and then head home.
we're back at the campsite, and we are here with our friends Jason and Misty with Meandering Life. You can check them out on YouTube and Facebook, and they've got a website, meandering.life. We found out they were staying in Las Vegas at an RV park when we got out here to Lake Mead, and we knew that they had wanted to start boondocking, but they just hadn't for whatever reason. So we kind of coerced them to come on out and boondock with us and get a taste of it. And you guys have been on the road for about 5 months now, is that right? 5 months,
yep.
So why, up until now, why haven't you boondocked yet?
Well, there's actually been several reasons why we didn't take the plunge. One was just the logistics. We've kind of found that it was going to be a little too hard to find spots that had internet, that had cell phones so I could get internet because of my part-time job, but also spots that we could park in, we would fit in, it was level, all those things, how to get water, how to get a dump site, and we were a little overwhelmed already with regular RVing.
Absolutely,
because we were just kind of getting started, so we just didn't want to overwhelm ourselves too much, so we just hadn't really done it yet.
So now that you've been boondocking for a few days, do you feel like your apprehensions and fears were like all in your head, or do you think it was legit?
Well, I think we say overall our fears were totally not legitimate. But the apprehension about finding the sites and that are good for us and that work for us is really still there, just because we had you guys this time to kind of work through that for us. So
we already had it found for you.
Yeah,
like, hey, here's a good site.
So I mean, I think we're still a little apprehensive about those aspects, but as far as boondocking in general, I believe that we were totally misguided on that.
Yeah.
So now that you guys have been out here boondocking with us for about 4 days now, do you like it? And if so, why or why not?
We love it. And the whys are really easy and really simple. It's quiet, it's free, and it's scenic.
Yeah, that's exactly why we love boondocking. It's our favorite way to stay, and he's just summed it up in basically 3 words. We love dispersed camping out on BLM land or national forests, wherever, because you're just immersed in nature and you don't get that same kind of feel in an RV park. So now that we know you guys like it, how often from here on out do you see yourself boondocking in the future?
A lot. As much as we can, honestly. Even since we've been here, we've already made some adjustments by buying some new batteries with future boondocking in mind, so we're hooked.
Wow, so it's like a paradigm shift. You're like 100% RV parks, and from here on out, it's going to be boondocking just as often as possible.
As often as possible.
Yeah.
We, because of her working and just the logistics and some of the places that we know we're going to visit, it won't be as easy to find BLM land, I think.
Yeah,
so.
It's because Misty works remotely, so she's got to have cell signal, and sometimes you just don't have cell signal out in the middle of nowhere, right?
Right.
But we've already talked about it, and we're definitely going to try to do it at least 75-80% of the time, and that'll save us a ton of money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the more money we save, the longer we can do this.
Yep, that money adds up fast. $25 to $35 a night staying in an RV park. Yeah,
so,
no joke.
If they invite you boondocking, do it.
Well, then on that note, now that you guys have gotten a taste of it and kind of have a good feel for it, what would you say to anyone that wants to boondock or has been maybe thinking about it but has never done it before and has some fears and apprehensions that might be stopping them? What would you say to them?
Really easy. I would find someone that you know that boondocks and go with them. Honestly, you guys asking us out and showing us kind of not really the ropes, but in a sense, we had questions, they answered them. And just having someone here that you kind of know really helped ease us into the whole process, because we're not sitting out here in the middle of nowhere by ourselves. We've got someone that we can bounce questions off of, or, the boogeyman comes. But that would be my biggest tip, is just find someone that has done a lot of it and see if you can go with them.
That makes perfect sense.
Boondocking isn't scary, but you do kind of have to plan a little bit more, and you kind of have to think about things a little bit more while you're boondocking than while you're
absolutely.
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
that's absolutely true.
Your tanks are only so big, so you can only take so much fresh water. You can only have so much gray tanks capacity. So there's some planning involved, and
But it's not scary.
It's not scary. It's just part of it.
It's just part of the deal, and you just kind of have to get used to it.
Yeah.
So.
And honestly, boondocking, I think, is what I envisioned of our trip to begin with, because this is what I think of, is these kind of views that we're in right now.
Absolutely.
And if we're sitting in an RV park in a city or near a city, we have to drive to these.
Yep.
Instead of waking up every day and I, let the dogs out and I'm like,
Yeah, that's for us when we were looking to go full time and travel full time. This was like our dream. We were like, this is what got us into full time RVing, was you get to live places like this. Like you're not just visiting Lake Mead, you live here. That's your front lawn, and you just walk outside and this is your view. And I mean, to us, like, I don't know, this is why we did it.
and that is what's so awesome about it.
Yep. Yeah, we love it. In our opinion, Jason and Misty hit it right on the head. This is why we boondock, so that we can not just stay in places like this, but we actually live here. In Lake Mead National Recreation Area right now, we live here. This is our home. And where we were hiking down there by the water was like 100 yards away from our RV. And at any time, we can just head on out and explore the surrounding area. And it's just beautiful. We're surrounded in nature, and this is what we dreamed about. Right before we hit the road, the vision we had in our mind of life, full-time RVing and full-time traveling, was this exactly. And to be able to take Sweetie down with us to the water, which she loves, she absolutely loves water, just jumping in it and biting it and splashing in it, is awesome. She had a great time tonight. We had a great time today. And I think we're all a little tuckered out, though, especially this one. So we're gonna go ahead and call it a night.
So if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up.
And if you want more videos from us, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want more information on what we did today, be sure to check out the link to the blog post in the description below. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.